What's up, YouTube friends and family? I want to thank all my new subscribers. Y'all know who you are. And I want to thank my old subscribers for giving me the comments and being there for me and watching my videos. Today I want to show you yet another. This is a self-wicking tub. I found this, believe it or not, I found this in the alley. Two of them. I'm gonna make one for my mother and one for me. I'm gonna put 2 squash plants in here. So same principle. Bottom of my hole is at, seeing how I'm using aluminum cans, the bottom of my hole is at 3 3/4 inches. I didn't quite have enough aluminum cans to fill all this up, so I've been saving my peaches. I didn't drill no holes in the top of here. The bottom's open. There's just extra water supply reserve. I got 3 of them in there. I'm probably gonna put them in the middle, actually. You know, you start throwing stuff away, you never think you're going to use it, and then all of a sudden you have an idea to do a container garden, and then you're scrambling. Your plants are ready to be transplanted, but you don't have no place to put them. And that's why I kind of did what I did with those cans. But you can use these veggie cans too. Just drill a couple holes in the top for air. I didn't do that because I'm gonna have plenty of air. Oops, that needs to go over here. Same concept. Hole in the top, which that's actually the bottom. Hole in the top twice, and some for the water. And then cut your pipe at an angle and put your pipe somewhere close to your drain hole. Now these are in here. These Dr. Pepper bottles, and ain't gonna hurt a thing. All I'm using them for is just to take up, I don't want to fill this whole area up with dirt. All these are here for is try to help, you know, limit my dirt that I put in here. So that still gives me about 10 inches of soil space for that squash. But I'm going to use the same concept. I really need one more aluminum can. I need to go see if I can't find one. Same concept. 1/3 peat moss, 2/3 potting soil. We'll fill this up, and I figured with this amount of stuff in here, I'll probably have a 2.5 to 3 gallon water reserve in this bucket for both those squash. And I'm gonna put one squash probably an inch or 2 from this side, and one squash inch or 2 from this side, and have all the open area, because I'd like to put a marigold right there. So let me go see if I can't find me one more can and put in here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put dirt in here to cover up the top inch, and I'm gonna pack it, and then I'll fill it up the rest of the way, pre-water it, and go from there. Hang on, guys. I want to say something while it's on my mind right quick. You can find these tubs if you got a lot of farmers in your area. I paid $5 a piece for these tubs. The lady told me she had 6, but she only has 3. Those are 20-gallon tubs. I'm gonna use one for a watermelon. I'm hoping to use a big white one for my potatoes. Probably plant a couple jalapenos in one of them, and one of them's going to my mom's house. But the point of this is, this whole project, you're gonna have enough money in peat moss, potting mix, and PVC pipe. Don't be bashful to grab a Rubbermaid tub or whatever you see laying in the alley. People throw them away every day. Even if that tub only lasts me 2 years, I'm keeping that tub out of the landfill for 2 years. Along with those Dr. Pepper bottles I'm using as just to fill in space. I don't drink Dr. Pepper. It's just what I've asked my friends to save up for me. So you can do your nice container garden It's a little bit to get started on the potting mix and the peat moss, but you can do your nice container garden without spending a whole lot of money. Those 2 buckets, we're lucky enough here in Amarillo to have a Firehouse Subs. They sell them to you for $3 a piece. No tax because it's a donation. So those, keeping them out of the landfill, donating to the fire department, it's a roundabout good thing. That tub up there with my radishes in it, I paid $8 for 2 of them. So I need to sit down and figure out how much money I actually have in the whole thing so far. I'll need to gather up my receipts, and I'll do that for y'all if I requested it. But back to over here. Like I said, 1/3 peat moss, 2/3 potting mix. You cannot use topsoil in a self-wicking tub. It won't work. So let me get this mixed up, and I'll fill up that Rubbermaid tub, and then we'll water it. The thing I'm going to suggest on these bigger tubs, excuse me, just kind of go ahead and put them where you want them. I'm going to start pre-watering. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to suggest you go ahead and put them kind of where you want them, because once you get them filled up with water, they're not going to be easy to move. Now, I'm going to go make some more fertilized water, because these are squashed and they need to be fertilized. So I'm going to go make some more fertilized water, and we're going to dump it in there. That was about probably 3/4 of a gallon, and I know that ain't going to fill it. And again, I'm using all organic fertilizer. I bought it off eBay. It's in one of my previous videos. But I want this tub about 1.5 inches from the top, because when and if I ever get time, I might have to buy it at Home Depot. But I want to put some mulch on top of all this. Oops, all you're seeing is my dog. This should have probably a 2.5, 3 gallon water reserve. Dang it, I'm having a hard time keeping y'all in keeping it in the frame. Let me trade hands. There we go. And I'm just giving it a real good soaking. This is all natural fertilizer. And another thing, like for me, if should have thought this process out a little bit better, but I should have put my whippy hole on the side of the bucket on this instead of the front side instead of the side, because now it's going to run. Well, it might still work. It's going to run down there, and hopefully it'll run into my yard. I do want it to kind of help water my yard too. The other two are leaking on concrete, but see, I just put about 2.5 gallons in there, and it's still not coming out of the weepy hole. So I guess I'll mix up some, well, I don't want to mix up a whole bunch. I think I'll mix up another gallon and dump in there and see if I can't get water to come out of that hole. That's my ultimate goal, is to get water to come out of that hole. And now this thing will probably take, after both those squash plants start getting good and going, this thing will probably take 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons a day to keep those squash plants going. But now it's going to be super heavy, and that's why I recommend kind of putting it where you want it before you water it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump another gallon of water in here and see if I can't get it to start coming out of that hole, and then we'll start getting ready to transplant. I think that's going to hold a lot of water. I just dumped another gallon of water in it, and I still don't have none coming out of my hole down there. So we'll let that sit for probably 10 minutes and let all that water soak in that tub, and then I'm gonna go ahead and transplant them 2 squash. And while we're waiting, let me show y'all something else. Something else y'all can do for fairly cheap. Actually, I'll have no money in this at all. My own little compost pile. It's not quite big enough. I don't think I'm going to be able to use. I might be able to use some of it come in a couple weeks. But all I done is when I mowed my backyard, I filled it up. And then I dumped my coffee grounds in here, my coffee filters, those 2 bad oranges. I've thrown banana peels in here, onion scraps, no dairy products and no meat products, but you can get your own little compost pile going pretty easy. It's almost time for me to mow my backyard again. Next time I mow my backyard, sorry, I already mowed my backyard. I did it yesterday. Next time I mow my backyard, I am going to dump some more grass in here. And the thing I've been using the most is coffee, and coffee's really working. Eggshells, you know, anything that you use in the kitchen can go in here. I threw those peat moss cups in there too. It's just going to make it a little bit better. But I really do need a bigger area for my compost. Every other day I dump about 2 gallons of water on here. Today, after I get the transplants done, I'm going to stir it, because I watered it yesterday. I'm going to stir it because you got to keep it rotating. So I hope y'all like that. That was just something that y'all didn't see that I am doing. Let's go ahead and get squash number 1 transplanted. I want it about 2 inches from the outer lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a hole about the size of the solo cup. I really like using those solo cups to grow stuff in, because you can grab it, loosen it up, and it slides out. And this way I'm not disturbing the roots, them good old roots on that squash plant at all. And then I can stick it down in my hole, kind of pack it in a little bit, and they look like crap right now because I just transplanted them. But I'm gonna go ahead and pluck this one. I bet I could put that in, I bet I could put that in soil right now and it'll start growing again. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, about 2 inches from the edge, which you can't see because of the water pipe. I'm going to dig me a hole about the size of a solo cup. Squash plant number 2. I hope I like squash because I'm going to have plenty of it. And then this way, see the roots on that one? This one was ready to be transplanted too. It was already at the bottom of the cup. Squash plant number 2. And now I'm going to dump. I am going to put him back in some water and some soil and some water. So maybe he'll keep growing by himself. And then I'm going to water this thing again. I'm going to dump in another 2 gallons of water. So I know this thing's, golly, I can't keep you on the, I'm going to dump in another 2 gallons of water. Stella. Okay, I'm going to trade arms. I just want to make sure I get this good and soaked. And then tomorrow morning, which I won't video, I'll come out here and just dump another gallon of water on top. The first 3 times you water these, you need to water them from the top. And it looks like I'm flooding them, but that's what the hole's for in the side of the tub. That will definitely drain. But you want to make sure you get it good and saturated. So, and that's how you kind of build you a self-wicking tub out of a 18-gallon tote. All these squash will stand back up in a couple hours. But that's how you build you a 18-gallon tote self-wicking bucket. If I did it again, I'd probably put the pipe in the middle, and then I'd put the drain hole right here, 3.5 or 3 3/4 inches up, and I'd put it right here so it'd run right in my yard. Because the all natural fertilizer won't hurt the yard, it won't hurt the grass in one bit. And I'm trying to get my backyard to grow again anyway. So if you like this video, please comment, please subscribe, please hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments, and I'll try to get to them as fast as I can. But that's how you make a self-wicking tote for, you know, your plants. And you can go buy these at Walmart or wherever you want to buy them, but people throw these away. So you might put an ad on Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist just says you're willing to buy their old unused totes. Because if you had the lid, you could make it false floor in here too, which I'm going to show you how to do that on a bucket. But anyway, thank y'all guys, and I'll see y'all on the next one.